us continue with the topic. Now, we have discussed about CSR, corporate ethics and corporate governance, and what are the challenges facing and how to maintain the corporate governance in an organization. Now, let us discuss about the internal and external responsibilities of an organization or in an organization. Both are correct. Now let us first discuss about the internal responsibilities and then we will go for the external responsibilities. Now the internal responsibilities in an organization that we have to deal is, the first one is collegiality. Right? Now what is this collegiality and how it is helpful for an organization? Now what is this internal responsibility? Collegiality is nothing but the relationship between colleagues and having the connectedness with the professional expertise, with a commitment to the goals and values of the job or your profession. Right? Now I will write down in one point. Collegiality is the relationship between, I'll write the definition completely, between the colleagues and having connectedness. We didn't discuss this term previously, so that's why I'm writing the definition completely. Having connectedness with professional expertise. I'll write it down as professional expertise. Right? And with a commitment to goals and values of the profession. Right? Now you have to commit with the goals and values of the profession. Right? This is what called collegiality. And in this collegiality you will include one more point called disposition. Right? Now what is disposition? This includes disposition also. Now what is disposition? A person's inherent qualities of mind and character to support and cooperate with the colleagues is called disposition. Alright. Now this collegiality, one more term will be included which is called disposition. Now, what is this disposition? Now a person's inherent qualities of mind and character to cooperate, not to separate, to cooperate with the colleagues, means to maintain the relationship between the colleagues. This is nothing but disposition. Right? Now what are the elements that you have to consider in this collegiality? Right? Now you said that about the relationship between, how do you maintain this relationship between these colleagues and how do you maintain this disposition? This is nothing but inherent quality. Now the central elements of collegiality are, the first one is respect, and the next one is commitment, right? The next one is connectedness, and the next one is cooperation. Now already I gave these terms in engineering profession ethics. Now we are dealing in this detail regarding here. Now what about this respect element in collegiality? Right? Now this is nothing but the respect that what you give for the ideas and work of the others in an organization or to a profession. This is nothing but respect. Now, due to this respect, what happens? More cooperation between colleagues happen. Now, it will be a mutual benefit also, right? Now, see here, this is nothing but respect to ideas and work of others. Others means your colleagues. Now, this will lead to mutual benefit and also enhanced transparency, enhanced support between the colleagues, right? The next element that you consider in collegiality is commitment. Now, commitment is nothing but sharing your moral deals, right? Now, which are inherent in your engineering profession, right? Sharing moral ideals, not deals, right? Moral ideals. Now, these moral ideals are nothing but regarding your engineering profession, right? Now, for example, commitment to the organization goals is nothing but which are your professional deals, right? Likewise, your safety, health, and public welfare. Am I right? Sharing your ideals with the colleagues will lead you to more connected work. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Now, the next element that you have to consider is connectedness. Now, a connectedness is nothing but a feeling of belonging. A feeling of belonging. Now, I'll write down the point here. Now, or you call it as affinity. Right? Both are nothing but connectedness. Now, this feeling of belonging or affinity must be towards your colleague, right? Now, without feeling or belonging, you cannot sustain in an organization. This is the basic element, right? Got the point? Yes. Cooperation. This is nothing but action of working together. Now, an action or process of working together. Right? Got the point? Yes. Now, these are the elements that you have to consider. Now, in internal responsibilities of an organization, the next that we will deal is loyalty. Now, what is this loyalty? Loyalty is nothing but, already I have dealt this definition, right? Means being truthful to one's employer. Being truthful to one's employer. Right? Now, what happens when you are loyal? Now, you will fulfill all your duties to an employer in a truthful way. Now, it increases your morale boost. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Basic things, right? Now, there are two senses of loyalty. Now, this is what we didn't discuss in the previous topics. What are the two senses of loyalty? One is agency loyalty. And the next sense is identification loyalty. Now, first we will deal what is identification loyalty. Now, see here, this identification loyalty is nothing but we look upon the attitudes, emotions, and a sense of personal identity of others' actions, right? Now, see here, identification is nothing but we will gel with others based upon their attitudes. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Based upon the emotions, right? And you will sense your personal identity. Now, this attitude, emotions, and these are the identifications. Now, these are more of virtues. They are not obligations, they are virtues, not obligations. Am I right? Means it has to be an innate, not an obligation. Right? Now see here, working for an organization that harms the public interest doesn't merit the loyalty. Now one is virtue and one is obligation, right? This is nothing but identification loyalty. Right? Now let us see what is agency loyalty. Agency loyalty is nothing but fulfilling your contractual duties. Now see, already I have discussed about this, right? Fulfilling the contractual duties to one's employer. Now see here, in agency loyalty, you focus on action rather than motive. Am I right or wrong? Yes. You try to do your action completely in integral manner. Now one antonym type of term that you have to learn in this loyalty is misguided loyalty. Now what is this misguided loyalty? Right? Now employees sometimes they are over enthusiastic, and this over enthusiasm will lead to a misled act, and unknowingly they will be in troubles, and also they will exceed the legal commitments for the gain or profit of employer. This may backfire sometimes. Now this is nothing but your misguided loyalty, right? Now see here, due to over enthusiasm, sometimes your loyalty may be misfired. Now this is called your misguided loyalty. Right? This is what the term. The relationship between loyalty and to the company and the professional responsibility to the public. Now how it look like? Now already I have discussed in this identification loyalty about this. Now see here, your public interest or your company's interest, what you look upon. Upholding professional commitments to public can be more effective way to serve a company than mere willingness to follow company orders. Right? This is what I have discussed in identifications. Right? See here, nothing harm to public interest. Your organization duties must be performed. This will create you more merit. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Perfect examples. Now, loyalty to companies or their current owners must not be equated with merely obeying one's immediate superior supervisor. Right? Now, your previous companies and present companies employees must not be treated in the same way. Right? So it depends upon the actions happen in that organization, it depends upon the actions in this organization. Right? Got the point? Yes. Now the third element that you have to learn in internal responsibilities of an organization is authority. Now what is this authority? Authority is nothing but legal right to command action by others and to enforce compliance. Right? Now see here, this is nothing but the action or fact of complying with a wish or a command. Right? Now I will write down the definition. Right? Legal right to command action by others. Authority is nothing but a legal right to command action by others. Right? And to enforce compliance. Means bringing standards in an organization. Always we are speaking about the organization only. Focus on that. Now see here, this authority will fix you an unique action and personal responsibility also. Now what are the types of authority that you have to learn? Right? The first type of authority is institutional authority. Now see, we are dealing in detail here. And the next type of authority is expert authority. Now what is this institutional authority and what is this expert authority? Now institutional authority is acquired, exercised and defined within your organizations. Now within your organizations, now this will relate to the rights and resources given to the employees to complete the targets, right, and to reach the organization goals. Now see here, institutional authority is nothing but the rights and resources given to an employee, right, given to an employee to fulfill the goal of an organization. Now what is expert authority? Expert authority is nothing but possessing special knowledge, skill or competence to perform the task or give some advice, right. Now expert authority is nothing but possessing special knowledge, skill or competence to perform an action, right. This is nothing but called expert authority. Now what is the main difference between authority and power, right? Let me know the difference between these two terms are not equal. Am I right or wrong? Now what is the difference between authority and power? Now see here, authority is an assignment of resources. Already I have discussed this. This is nothing but assignment of resources, right. Now to complete a task, that already know, assignment of resources to complete a task, right. Now see here, one should have a leadership of the quality and a good motivator to execute his authority to get the work done, right. A person should have a leadership quality, right, and also he must be a good motivator in order to be more authoritative, right. The what is power? Now it is beyond authority and position one holds. It is beyond authority and position one holds. Am I right or wrong? Yes, perfect. Now it influences the others. Now power influences others. Now there is no such case like influencing others in authority. Now with your passion or cherishma or whatever you speak, right. We speak many things like this, right. Now let us see the next. What is the next internal responsibility of an organization, which is called collective bargaining. Now see here, collective bargaining, this is very important for the examination. Once it was asked, collective bargaining, the definition, once it was asked, right. Now what is collective bargaining? This collective bargaining definition is given according to International Labour Organization, ILO, right. Now all the negotiations which take place between an employer and a group of employees or one or more employers on one hand and one or more workers on an organization's other is nothing but called collective bargaining, right. Now I'll write down the points. You might be confused with this. Now according to International Labour Organization, all the negotiations which take place between an employer and a group of employees is nothing but called collective bargaining. And see here, sometimes these employers can be more than one, and this group of employees can be more than one group. That is what this is explaining, right? Now, why to do this collective bargaining? Let me know that first. Now, this collective bargaining is done for determining work conditions and terms of employment, right? Determining terms of employment or your work conditions. First and foremost important point. Now see here, all these points or any one of the point, it can be anything, right? Collective bargaining, regulating the relationship between employees and workers, right? Now in order to regulate the relationship between employers and employees, now see here, regulation between employers or their organizations and workers organization or others. Am I right or wrong? Between employers and a workers organization. Sometimes these worker organizations might be more than one. So these are the terms for collective bargaining, right? Got the point? Yes. Now let us move on to the external responsibilities in an organization. We have dealt till now internal responsibilities. Now let us see the external responsibilities. Now already I have discussed this external responsibilities in detail in the previous chapters. Now I will explain the basics here, and you go through that video, you can get the things clear really well, right? External responsibilities. Now what are these external responsibilities? The first one is confidentiality. Now all these terms I have dealt clearly in the previous topics, right? Now I will give the outline here and you can go through in the previous video, because I don't want to repeat it again. You'll get bored of this, right? Confidentiality, right? Confidentiality is nothing but keeping the information which deemed and desirable to keep it as a secret. This is what I have discussed there. Now at any workplaces, what type of information can be labeled as confidential, right? Now the information which would cause harm to the organization, now, right, and any information that will lead to decrease in economic activity of the organization. Like many things, I have given two examples for you. To the business rivals. Am I right or wrong? Now, what are the different terms that you use in this confidentiality concept? The first one is privileged information. Privileged information. I didn't discuss this in the previous topic. Now let us deal this. Privileged information. Now this is nothing but called special information or confidential information. Now what is privileged? Why do you give this term privileged to this? Let me know that first. Privileged means which is to be only shared between specific parties and not admissible in court protected from a subpoena. Right? Now see here, privileged means this information has to be shared between specific parties only and not even admissible in the court unless until it was pioned. Right? The next one in confidentiality is proprietary information. Now, what is this proprietary information? Now this is nothing but the information that a company owns or a proprietor of. Normally refers to the new knowledge generated within the organization that can be legally protected. Right? Now it refers to the, I'll dive down into one point, new knowledge. Now this was generated within the organization. Within the organization. Now this new knowledge can be legally protected, or you call it as legally safeguarded. Both the terms are right. The next one, which is very important, called patents. Already I have discussed in detail regarding these patents and intellectual property rights. Right? Now patents are nothing but legally protect specific products via being manufactured and sold by competitors. Right? Now see here, these are legally protected specific products and they are legally safeguarded. Now they are being manufactured and sold by competitors are barred. Right? Now see here, in patents they are legally safeguarded. That is what we have discussed here. Now trade secrets, let us see about the next one, trade secrets. I have given an arrow mark there. I'll deal the connection later. Now see here, trade secret is nothing but the information that is not becoming public, which an employer keeps as top secret. Right? Now this is not revealed to the public. Now see here, this trade secret doesn't have any legal safeguard. This is what the difference between patent and trade secret. Right? Got the point? Yes. Now this patent may be data, design, procedure, organization. Right? Any, we have discussed this in detail. Right? Now see here, this patents are given legally safeguardedness, but trade secrets are not given. This is what we discussed here. Now these patents are safeguarded by an important concept called intellectual property rights, IPRs. How these designs, how these data, how these procedures are safeguarded. Now I have discussed these IPRs in detail in the previous concept, ethics to engineers. Right? Go through that video, you can get the things. Now in this, what we deal essentially regarding patents. I have given in detail regarding this, regarding copyrights, exclusive symbol given to, exclusive legal right given to, right, to an organization, trademark. This is what we have discussed. Right? So I'm giving the outline here. Now trade secrets. Done. Focus on the things. Now what are to be needed to protect this IPRs? This is what we have to know here. Now you have to prevent plagiarism. Plagiarism is making out substitutes of exactly same product. You have to safeguard these IPRs by preventing others using it, you have to safeguard this. Now you have to safeguard this intellectual property rights to prevent the financial gains for others, right? Because he must enjoy this profits, right? Now, in the next video we will discuss about the whistleblowing policies. Already I have discussed in detail regarding this. Some more additional points that we discuss here, right? Thank you.